Today we're going to look at ordering fractions. Fractions with the same denominator can be easily compared. So if we're looking at 3/10 and 7/10 here, because we know we've divided the object up, or divided the shape up, or whatever we're dividing up into 10 even pieces, we know that 3 pieces is going to be less than 7 pieces. So 7/10 is definitely going to be the bigger number. So 3/10 is less than 7/10. To order fractions, we must convert the fractions to equivalent fractions with the same denominator. Because if we can do that, if they have the same denominator, then we can compare them very easily. If we find the lowest common multiple of the denominators, it's referred to as the lowest common denominator. So that would mean that the denominator that we have for both of the fractions that we're dealing with is the lowest value that we have that's common to both of them. Recall or remember that ascending means from smallest to largest, getting bigger. So ascending, increasing, getting larger. And descending means from largest to smallest. So getting smaller, decreasing, getting less. So for our first example, we need to place these symbols in between the pairs of fractions. Remember what these symbols mean. This symbol here is less than, this symbol here is equal to, and this one is greater than. So here we've got 2/5 and 4/5, 2/3 and 3/5, 2 and 3/7 and 16/7. So here we've got the same denominator. Very easy to compare them. So 2/5 is definitely going to be smaller than 4/5 because it's a less number of parts that we have. So we can put the less than symbol. So 2/5 is less than 4/5. For 2/3 and 3/5 it's a bit more challenging because they don't have the same denominator. We need to find a common denominator. So the lowest common denominator for 3 and 5 is 15. Okay, so we need to get 15 as the denominator here. So to do that, I need to multiply it by 5. And I need to do the same to the top and the bottom. Multiply by 5 on the top, multiply by 5 on the bottom to get an equivalent fraction. So that'll be 10/15. I need to do the same thing to our fraction here, but to get 15 as the denominator here, I need to multiply by 3. So I need to do the same to the top and bottom, multiply by 3, multiply by 3, and I get 9/15. So 10 and 9 can now be easily compared, 10/15 and 9/15. It's the same denominator, so it's the same sized part, same number of parts that we've divided it up into. So 10 is bigger than 9, so we can put the greater than symbol. So 10/15 is greater than 9/15, and we can use this symbol here to mean therefore. Therefore, so it's like saying hence or so. So therefore, 2/3 is greater than 3/5. So we're answering the question that we were given originally. 2/3 is greater than 3/5. So we've just put it back to what it was originally. So for our 2 and 3/7 and 16/7, one's a mixed number and one's an improper fraction. So we need to convert them to the same format to be able to compare them easily. So we're going to convert this mixed number to an improper fraction. So 2 is the same. Well, if I was breaking up 2 into 7ths, I'd have 14/7 because I have 7 and 7, so a total of 14/7. And then I've got an extra 3/7, so that's 17/7 in total. And I can compare that to 16/7 very easily, same denominator. So the denominator is 7, so 17 is larger than 16, so 17/7 is greater than 16/7. Therefore, 2 and 3/7 is greater than 16/7. So we've converted it back to the question that we had originally. Our second example here, we need to place these fractions in ascending order. So ascending, getting bigger from smallest to largest. So it's a bit challenging here. We've got different denominators. We've got some mixed numbers, some improper fractions, some proper fractions. So what we need to do is we need to make sure that we convert everything here to the same format. So firstly, we've listed our fractions here. We're going to convert them all to improper fractions. So these ones are all improper fractions already, but our mixed number here, 1 3/5, that's the same as saying I've got 5/5 and an extra 3/5, so that's 8/5 there. 2 1/4 is saying, well, if I've divided that 2 up into quarters, then I've got 8 quarters and an extra quarter, 9 quarters there. So now they're all mixed numbers. Unfortunately, the denominators, some of them are the same, but we need them all to be the same to be able to compare them. So the lowest common denominator is 20. And I can work that out by looking, well, I've got 2, 5 and 4. So 2, 5 and 4. The lowest common multiple of all of these, I can do the multiples up. So it's going to have to be even here. It's going to have to end in a 0 or a 5, and it's going to have to be divisible by 4. So 2 and 4, because 4 is a multiple of 2, we just need to look at the lowest common multiple of 5 and 4. So it's 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. And for 4, it's 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, and that's our lowest number there. So our lowest common denominator is 20. So we need to try and get 20 as the denominator for each of them. So here, to go from 5 to 20, I need to multiply by 4. So I need to do the same thing to the top and bottom, so I need to multiply the top by 4 as well. So 8 times 4 is 32. And I do the same here. I need to multiply by 5 to get 20. 4 times 5 is 20, so I need to do the same to the top. So 7 times 5 is 35 over 20. 2, I need to multiply by 10 to get to 20, so I need to do the same to the top. Multiply by 10, I get 30. 4 times 5 times 5. 9 times 5 is 45 over 20. 5 times 4 times 4 on as the numerator and denominator, and I get 44 over 20. So now they're all over the same, the denominators are all the same. I can just order the numerators from smallest to biggest. So my smallest one here is 30, largest is 45, so 30 over 20, 45 over 20 here. And then I get them progressively, increasing them progressively. So 30, 32, 35, 44, 45, getting bigger. So 30, 32, 35, 44, 45, increasing in those numbers. Then my last step in this problem is to convert it back to what we had at the start. So 30 over 20, that was our 30 over 20 here was 3 over 2, so that's what we start with. 32 over 20 was our first value here, 1 3/5. 35 over 20 was our second one here, 7 quarters. 44 over 20 was our 11/5 here, and 45 over 20 was 2 1/4 here, 2 1/4.